What's happening? What's going on? What's happening, man? Part of my presence YouTube channel. I'm live. Do the live stream. I won't be here for too long, but I do want to address the topic of discussion today, which is the issue with DaBaby and his controversy as far as him out hustling the two young boys selling candy. Now, for those who aren't aware of what happened, apparently DaBaby uploaded some type of video where he speaks to his young kids, young boys, and they're selling candy, I guess for charity, or maybe it's for their own personal gain. I don't know. But he's talking to them, and of course, he's talking to them in a way where he has the upper hand because, number one, he's an adult, but also his line of questioning is a little bit aggressive. When you look at it from a standpoint of him being little baby, oh, sorry, not little baby, but DaBaby, and him being an imposing figure, and the two young boys who were surprised at the fact that the person in that particular van or sprinter was DaBaby. So they're definitely caught off guard. So he had the advantage as far as, number one, where the conversation was going to go and how it's going to be directed, but also the line of questioning and the fact that here he is showing a large amount of money, and the two boys are looking at it and they're thinking to themselves, at least, that, you know what, we could actually get all the money that we need from this one person for the rest of the day. Who knows? But let me play the video first of all. Let me play the video. So a few things I want to point out. What's up, Moneyboy Trail? I got a lot to say about this. Here's the thing: when I look at this, so I got a lot to say about this situation. When I look at this and I look at the video, I'm not sure if you guys are able to hear the video. My boy Trey is saying there's no volume, but most of you guys have seen this clip and you guys are aware. But when you look at how DaBaby's talking to them, he's not coming from a standpoint of mentoring these kids. He's not talking from a standpoint where he's trying to assist them. He's talking from the standpoint that, hey, you're not going to out hustle me. I'm a lot smarter than you. I'm a lot wiser than you. And I'm going to show you how more equipped I am than you in these situations. And he pretty much confirmed that with the rest of the video when he's cracking up, making jokes with the rest of his entourage, saying how, I know how this goes. I've sold candy before. You're not going to get me for $200. So here's the thing. You're right, my boy. He's a rapper. He's not a mentor. Absolutely. I agree with that. But here's the problem that I have. Should he have put this out there for everybody to see and consume? Should he have made these boys the laughingstock? Now, I ask this question because when you look at especially young boys, when you look at how young boys are growing up in this era, they're almost forgotten. People not really paying attention to them, but yet they have to be put in positions where they have to feed their families, earn money for their families, being able to provide. And most of them are not equipped to do those things. They end up getting caught up in illegal activities. They end up in jail. They end up with a record, and they can't get a decent job going forward. They end up in the system. All because they don't know how to make legal money. And no one's ever taught them how to create a business or how to run a business the proper way without being shisty, as what most people said they were, asking for $200. But the one thing that no one ever said was that at least these kids were bold enough to ask for something more. And that might sound like a crazy statement, but think about it this way. Rush, salute. Think about it this way. When you look at any creator, whether it's a fashion designer, whether it's someone who created a product that they're going to sell, you'll never know what the true cost is to make that product. You'll never know the true cost to create that particular garment, dress, t-shirt, whatever the case may be. You never know the true cost. All you do know is the retail cost, the cost that they're going to charge you. Now, you all know about Beats by Dre and the fact that it was determined or found out that the actual cost to make those headphones was around $10. But when you look at the retail price for Beats by Dre, we're looking at $150 on the low end, all the way up until what, $300 for those headphones. Not too many people complained. They bought it on the strength of Dr. Dre. They bought it on the strength of the fact that it's considered cool to have those headphones. It's a status symbol. No one ever questioned, well, how much does it cost? What's the markup? They weren't chastised for asking for that amount for what their product is. But these kids were chastised. Not for a lot of money either. So my question is, in these situations, clearly these boys are not hustlers. They're there, they're selling candy. They're not making a lot of money to begin with. They clearly don't know the ropes. They're not guys who, in my opinion, will be guys that are looking to deceive anybody. Because they didn't do it that well, if you consider what they try to do deceiving. But a guy in the position of DaBaby sure looked at these guys and said, you know what? I could teach you a few things. If you want to do this legitimately, change the product. It doesn't have to be candy. It could be something else. And understand a couple of things. Understand the target audience. Understand your product. Understand the costs. The best price to list for your product. And your pitch. And the incentive as to why someone may want to buy and purchase the product. Teach them something. teach him the fact that, you know what, making up a number on the spot could backfire, as it did in this situation. He could have done that and not put them online to ridicule for everybody to see. So that's my take on that. But my question to you guys, would he have done this if it were white kids? Would a rapper have done this if it were white kids? Would a rapper have done this if it was black girls? We don't know. But I want to play something for you. I want to play a video. From Uzi Vert. And someone asking Uzi Vert a particular question. Listen carefully.
Yo, Uzi, what's good, bro? Can you pay for my college tuition? 90 grand, I go to Temple, bro. I could pay for it. I know you can.
Okay, Moneyboy Trail saying I don't have the volume on. How do I turn the volume on so that you guys can hear it? Let's see. Let me know if you guys can hear the volume, okay?
Of course. Nah, 100%. I don't bullshit. I'll finish that. Big ass heel. Big ass heel. Make sure you show me all of your transcripts and everything. All of your papers and everything. Alright, bro. Alright. I got you. Nah, I got you, bro. I'll show you.
Urban Therapist, what's going on? Let me play it again so you guys can catch what's going on here. You guys are saying the volume is low. I'm not sure I can increase it. But pretty much what's happening here is that this random guy sees Uzi Vert going through, I guess, Nordstrom or wherever department store this is. And he just yells out, "Will you pay for my tuition? Will you pay for my tuition?" So it's not charity. It's not for a good cause. It's for his own personal interest. And he's already at the college. Apparently he goes to Temple University. So he's already there. So clearly, he's already paid the tuition. Or has some type of loan, student loans, that's covered the tuition. But when he yells that out, Uzi Vert turns around. Instead of ignoring him, he turns around and he comes up to the guy. And he says he'll do it. He says that he has the money. 90 grand. Because he asked him, how much is the tuition? 90 grand. 90 grand. And little Uzi Vert says, I got that money. I'll do that. I'll cover you. You just got to show me that you're in the school. Send me the transcripts. Send me your grades. What's your IG name? Send it to me through IG, and I got you. All this man did was blurt out, can you cover my tuition? 90 grand. I got you. And yes, this guy is not black. This is either a white guy
This happens sometimes too, bro.
or he's some type of brown guy. So the point I'm making in this situation is that would DaBaby have done what he did if those kids were not black? Do we look at each other in a way where we don't want to help each other? We would rather make it hard for each other because either we feel that growing up it was hard for us. So why should it be easier for somebody else? And you're right, Moneyboy. We don't know if he paid for that. It could be a publicity stunt, but it's the fact that he put it out there on social media for us to consume. See, and that's the point that I'm trying to make here. It's not that if it's real or not, because DaBaby may have just called them back and say, you know what, I'll give you $200 to those two kids. We don't know, but it's what they're putting out there, which is the messaging. So the question becomes, do we look at each other and we say, it was hard for us, so we're going to make it hard for others coming up along the way as well too? Is that the right way of thinking? Or should we say, because I know how it was, I was once you. I used to hustle just like you. I used to sell candy just like you. I know the struggles. And probably somewhere along the line, when I was young, somebody helped me out. So in turn, I'm going to help you. That should be the right way of thinking. In my opinion, at least. That should be the right way of thinking. I should help you. Because at the end of the day, when you look at, and I'll give you an example. Whenever I take the subway, and you have a lot of panhandlers, you have a lot of bums on the street asking for money. There's the white bum or the white panhandler who gets charity. You see a lot of white people giving that guy money. Whether he's going to go and smoke crack or smoke meth or go to a liquor store, that's never asked. Money is given. If it's one of the gypsies who are at the end of the highway on the exit ramps, I see people who identify with them giving them money. But when I see a black man, again, maybe this is anecdotal, but this is my experience. When I see a black man, he's asking for money. Whether or not he's going to go and misuse the funds that he receives, whether or not he's deserving of it, I don't see much people give to that black man. Now, a lot of people might have the opinion that the black man is going to squander the money, misuse the money, mismanage the money. He's up to no good. He's not deserving of sympathy. But this is where I have to come in and come to my senses and identify with that man. Because if no one else wants to give that black man any charity, really it's up to us to make that determination to say, you know what, as a fellow black man, I could have been in your situation. It could have been otherwise for me. Because no one else wants to give you money, I must give you something. And the reason why I do is because who am I to judge him? Because you'll see other races, they give to each other. They'll give to the poor. They won't judge. They won't chastise. They won't question what they're going to do with the money. They won't ask them quiz questions. They won't ask him skill questions. They won't ask him to verify details. I'm sure you guys heard a lot of stories of the white panhandlers after their quote unquote shift is done. They drive off in a Mercedes. There's many stories like that, especially in Toronto. So the point I'm making here is that when we see our group of people, whether they're in need and they're begging, they're asking for money, or whether they put in some initiative to sell something, it might not be a superior product that they're selling or superior service, but at least they're taking the initiative to try something. In situations like that, should we chastise them and say, your service is no good? Should we chastise and say to them, your product is inferior? Or should we give them something? Thank you for your time. Thank you for the effort. I'm going to support you because you're working to support yourself. Or I'm going to support you because I know if I don't, it's a good possibility no one else will. That's right, Rush. You help out the principle. It's the principle of it. Because at the end of the day, you should be seeing yourself in that person. You should be seeing yourself in that person. And the thing about it, when I look at this whole situation, a lot of people are divided on this. As Moneyboy Trail mentioned, they were trying to hustle DaBaby. Then you have people on the other side saying DaBaby was too harsh. DaBaby shouldn't have put it on social media. I gotta create a cash app for real. But the point I'm making here is that a lot of people are on different sides of this. But the real issue here is that at the end of the day, these are kids. They're young boys. They're impressionable young boys. They don't have all the answers. DaBaby is looking down on them, acting like if they should have the same wherewithal as he does now. But if someone were to inquire and to look into DaBaby's contracts, because he's on Interscope, if we were to look into his contract details and the money that he's getting, or the amount of money that they're making off him, would it be right for someone who knows more to chastise him? Would it be right for Master P? Would it be right for, who else is a mogul? Dame Dash? Jay-Z? Russell Simmons? Would it be right for them to chastise him because he's getting turned out? I don't think so. And that's really all the information I wanted to provide here today. That's really all I wanted to say. Let me know how you feel. Until next time, Pardon My Presence YouTube channel. Like, comment, subscribe. Until next time.